You're watching South Asia Newsline and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 21st of July. India and Sri Lanka agree to enhance economic partnership. Pakistan's ex-PM Imran Khan claims cypher dug out to disqualify him. And lawmakers trigger debate on numerical strength of Nepal's army. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday held delegation-level talks with Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is on a visit to New Delhi to strengthen economic ties. Both leaders held discussions over issues of mutual interest and later signed agreements to conduct feasibility studies on petroleum line and for land bridge connectivity between the both countries. They also agreed to work on enhancement of air connectivity. Before Wickremesinghe's visit, Colombo had also notified Indian rupee as a designated foreign currency. Terming Sri Lanka an important partner, PM Modi said India-Sri Lanka security interest and development is intertwined. India's support was critical for Sri Lanka last year after it almost ran out of dollars and sank into a financial crisis. New Delhi provided about $4 billion in rapid assistance between January and July 2022 to Colombo.
भारत की नेबरहुड फर्स्ट पॉलिसी और सागर विजन दोनों में भी श्रीलंका का एक महत्वपूर्ण स्थान है। हमारा मानना है कि भारत और श्रीलंका के सुरक्षा हित और विकास एक दूसरे से जुड़े रहे हैं और इसलिए यह आवश्यक है कि हम एक दूसरे की सुरक्षा और संवेदनाओं को ध्यान में रखते हुए साथ मिलकर काम करें।
Moving on, both the houses of the Indian Parliament faced adjournment for the second consecutive day with the opposition lawmakers protesting to demand a statement by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the ethnic violence in Manipur, followed by a detailed discussion on the issue. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh asserted that the government is ready for a discussion, but the opposition is not serious as lawmakers continue to create a ruckus. PM Modi, in an address outside the parliament, had condemned the alleged sexual assault of women in Manipur as shameful and promised tough action. But the opposition has been demanding him to speak inside the parliament.
मुझे लगता है चर्चा के प्रति विपक्ष गंभीर नहीं है, क्योंकि सरकार तो चाहती है कि मणिपुर के मुद्दे पर चर्चा होनी चाहिए और स्वयं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी कहा है कि जिस प्रकार की घटना हुई है पूरा राष्ट्र शर्मसार हुआ है और यहाँ तक कि उन्होंने ये भी कहा है कि कठोर से कठोर कार्रवाई की जाएगी। अब इसके बावजूद चर्चा नहीं कर रहे हैं लोग, इसका मतलब कि वो चर्चा से भग रहे हैं।
The police have so far arrested 4 people who were allegedly part of a mob that paraded and allegedly assaulted the women after stripping them in the month of May. House of the main suspect was also attacked and burnt on Thursday by women in the state to express their anger. Relatives of the deadly landslide in India's Raigad, who lost their loved ones in the tragedy, recalled their horror. The monsoon rains this year have claimed over 100 lives across India in incidents of flooding and landslides.
Dondi Damalska lost 7 members of a family in the deadly landslide in Raigad in India's Maharashtra that has killed more than 15 and around 100 people were still feared trapped. She said she was able to run away and escape, but her loved ones were buried under the debris. On Friday, rescue operations still continued in the remote mountain hamlet of Isharwari, with the death toll likely to further rise.
वाजता कळलं 11 वाजता कळल्याबरोबर सगळे धावायला लागल्याबरोबर हे आपलं मुख्यमंत्री बित्रे इथं पोस्ट झाले ते इनिश कॅप्टर सर्वे आले आणि ते वरती झाले मग ते वरती सकाळपर्यंत थांबले.
The incident has also left Anandi devastated, whose parents and a brother met a similar fate. Another brother was saved as he was not at home at the time of the natural calamity.
उनका माँ पिताजी गया तो दुख थोड़ा लगेगा ना उनको और भाई गया एक खाली एक भाई बच गया वो छोटा था वो थोड़ा बाहर गया था इसलिए वो बच गया.
Disasters linked to rains have killed more than 100 people in India, mostly in the north, since the onset of the monsoon season on June 1st, according to the Indian Meteorological Department.
Pakistan's former PM Imran Khan has claimed the resurgence of the cypher controversy as an apparent bid by the ruling coalition to disqualify him ahead of elections. In a video address, the PTI chief said the ruling parties have shot themselves in the foot by reviving the issue. This comes after a top official testified in a court that a US diplomatic encrypted letter was manipulated by the former premier to serve his political goals. Interior Minister Rana Sanaullah said Khan will face criminal proceedings on charges of exposing the official secrets. Imran Khan had blamed his ouster as Prime Minister in 2022 was orchestrated by the US. However, Washington has refuted the claim. Dr. Rubina Greenwood, the chairperson of World Sindhi Congress, has highlighted that it is a systematic policy of Pakistani state to victimize Sindhi Hindus, forcing them to leave their motherland to ultimately tear down the secular and civil fabric of the Sindhi society. She said the recent attacks on Hindu temples and the forced conversion of girls from religious minorities over the years is part of that social engineering by the Pakistani establishment. She described, despite being the wealthiest in terms of resources, a huge population of Sindh lives under abject poverty. And those who raise voices for their rights have to face oppression.
More about the provincial rights and people's rights to development issue. And this whole forced, we could say, extrajudicial killing or forced disappearances is all related with that. When people start raising their voice about their rights, their land. So the forced conversion is actually a political tool to make sure that Sindhi Hindus migrate and leave the country and leave the Sindh province, and we Sindhis become minority.
The European Union on Thursday imposed restrictive measures against 3 Taliban leaders and 18 individuals for human rights violation in several countries. In a statement, the EU said the Taliban Minister of Education and Justice, as well as the acting Chief Justice of Afghanistan, are among the individuals sanctioned because of their sexual and gender-based violence. Taliban spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid condemned the move and said that the sanctions will not benefit anyone. No foreign government has so far recognized the Taliban's regime in Afghanistan. The country's assets have already remained frozen due to sanctions that have severely hampered banking, business and development. A debate has been triggered in Nepal's House of Representatives over the downsizing of the armed forces after 2 lawmakers questioned the need for its existing size, local media outlets reported. The 2 opposition leaders said as conditions have improved significantly since the end of insurgency era, there is a need of reform and review on the size of the army. However, Nepal's federal government has made it clear there is no plan to reduce the size of the army. Notably, the size of Nepalese army had doubled after Maoist insurgency, while the expenditure has increased at least by 5 times, according to a report by the Kathmandu Post. The comprehensive peace accord that ended the decade-long insurgency had called for security reforms with respect to the country's army. However, little or no progress has been made on that front. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.